This is Phil Friedman from Friedman Adventures with some great news for San Diego anglers as more yellowfin tuna continue to push into northern Baja and southern California waters today. The Liberty had 30 mixed bluefin and yellowfin tuna, but that's not the best news. Brad Phillips is down in Baja, California, and he actually saw and talked to a commercial fisherman who is outside of Bonitas Island catching steady 20-pound yellowfin mixed with skipjack. That fish was previously, just a short time ago, on the Uncle Sam Bank, and it has moved several hundred miles and is pushing north. All headed toward Southern California. More and more yellowfin mixed with skipjack. Hang on, everybody. Since I was a kid, the New Loan was the hot boat, and she still is. She fishes so hard. Her crew is so excellent, and that boat just gets bit. Take a look at her unloading her most recent catch. Some excellent bluefin tuna fishing going on the New Loan. Make sure you are bringing heavy tackle, and it looks like some yellowfin tuna are set to join the party also. Great trip on the New Low. They just keep doing it. I've got a 4th of July present for all you Channel Island anglers, and that is live squid. You can call the Manana on Channel 11 or use the phone number that you see right there. Mention Friedman Adventures for a discount. This is for 4th of July weekend in the Channel Islands. Pat is constantly changing his position, so give him a call or call him on Channel 11. Get that live squid and turn it into some nice halibut and sea bass for the 4th of July.
By myself.
Whoa! Whoa, two! My God.
Check out the Independence as she unloads at Point Loma Sport Fishing from another successful trip. Lots of nice bluefin tuna as the bite has been very, very good at night for most. The Independence is a gorgeous sport fisher, 112 feet in length, 32 in width. She can hold over 700 scoops of bait. The food, the attention to detail, and the customer service is always fantastic. Independence is out right now. We'll be covering her and keeping you in touch with all the very latest right here on Friedman Adventures. Good morning, my dear friends, and welcome to beautiful Surfside, California, the day before America's birthday. Man, what a great country we live in. How blessed are we? God bless the troops, the men and women who protect our great country, and it's ready for a big birthday bash here in the good old USA. So great to be with you all here in Surfside, California. So many of you are joining us from different parts of the country as well as around the world. We are sandwiched between the city of Seal Beach and Huntington Beach, and that's where you find here, Surfside, California, on a foggy, dreary morning. Well, it's anything but dreary. Maybe actually it is dreary, but in terms of the outlook for sport fishing in northern Baja and southern California, it can't get much better than it is. You saw the lead in, you saw the Independence, the New Low, unloading. You heard what I told you about that yellowfin tuna moving up the coast. Get ready to rock and roll. I don't know what it says about our albacore, but man, are we going to have one heck of a summer, fall, and I think it goes right through the 1st of January. I'm getting a little bit carried away. How about that 51-pound halibut? What a great catch on board the Aloha Spirit. Our congratulations to Ann on a spectacular catch. The Bay of LA will have a report from there, and we have got so much more for you. You know what time it is, everybody. Good morning and welcome to the morning briefing. Had to do that. Man, is that coffee good this morning. A lot of people out early here on the beach enjoying a walk or taking the dogs out for a run. It's really a beautiful morning. We've got a lot to get into with you all. Like, subscribe, share these videos. Tick that bell. You'll be notified when there's new content. We're on Instagram, TikTok, and Facebook. Make sure you join us there. And over 500,000 views in the last 28 days. And it just keeps rocking and rolling. And it's all thanks to you. Thank you so very much for your great support for Friedman Adventures, as I deeply appreciate it. All right, don't forget we have several trips coming up. One August the 15th, and that's going to be on board the Horizon out of H&M Landing. It's a day-and-a-half trip. I think it's $535, and it's going to fill up fast now. This yellowfin is on the move up here, and you can fish with me. I'll be there Actually, I'll be shooting video of you catching fish, but we'll be there. It'll be a lot of fun. Horizon H&M Landing, August the 15th. There's the phone number. Give it a call and book ASAP on that Friedman Adventures trip, sailing August the 15th out of H&M Landing. All right, let's get into it with you all. Let's go down to the Bay of LA quickly and talk about KJ. He is down there from Mag 12 Swim Baits. Guys all over the place. He's in Morro Bay, he's in the Channel Islands, he's on the Toronado, and now he's down there in the Bay of LA enjoying some good yellowtail fishing with his friend Lisette. Lisette works down there, provides such great meals for everybody, and he is having the time of his life down there catching some yellowtail and just enjoying life in Baja, California, and I don't know how you can beat that. In fact, KJ, just as a way to say thank you, brought down some Victoria's Secrets for the girls down there. KJ, getting a little out of control there, aren't you? Well, it wasn't lingerie. It was a spray or something like that. And it's a lovely gesture on his part. I'm just giving you a little, there, KJ. Lisette, he says, is a wonderful person, her whole staff. And that's the kind of guy I like to surround myself with. Somebody who looks down there when you go to Baja and takes care of the people who work so hard and don't make a whole lot of money. So it's a great thing if you can do that. I'm very, very happy about that. So fun times down there in the Bay of LA. Almost forgot what I was talking about. All right, while we're down in that neck of the woods, Brad Phillips, he used to run sport boats up here for years. He was talking to a lift pole boat down there around Bonitas Island chain, a little more than 240 miles down the Baja coast. And the guy said he's been working porpoise and just all over the yellowfin tuna, 20-pound grade yellowfin mixed with skipjack. It was on the Uncle Sam Bank, a few hundred miles south of there, not that long ago, has moved up to Bonitas and just has its nose pointed to the north. And we're seeing that fish filter into San Diego right now. We're seeing more and more and more of it on a regular basis. I'll get into that in a moment with you, but there is more on the way, folks. It is coming. It's going to be one heck of a summer. YFT coming. I'm sure there's going to be some flatheads, Dorado mixed with it, and God knows what else in that warm water. What it says about our albacore, I still haven't given up the ship on that because our water is colder this year than it was in '97 when we had exceptional albacore fishing. But it is getting late. We get to the 4th of July, and my prediction, you've got to admit, I'm consistent. It'll be the 3rd year in a row that I've screwed it up. So we'll see what happens. But haven't given up hope on that. I know there's yellowfin coming. A lot of you are saying, well, wait a minute, yellowfin, albacore, we've caught them both before at the same time. Sometimes you got warm water on the Baja coast and colder water offshore. See what happens. But still no sign of them. In fact, I talked to the commercial fishing albacore vessel Pikey, J.J. Garrettson, who was in this business for a long time and is a super great guy and speaks impeccable Spanish, lived in Costa Rica for a while like I did. J.J. said no reports of anything good right now. So those guys are in tune with the very latest. We'll see where it goes from here. All right, let's get you up to Ensenada, Baja California Norte, and the Pongueros down there are all over the Bluefin Tuna, having very good fishing for the most part, trolling Mad Max around and doing pretty darn well. If they're not fishing that, they're fishing barracuda and yellowtail on the local scene around Todos Santos Islands and Punta Banda and other areas along the Baja coast and doing pretty good. University Point is a very well-known spot down there, and it's had yellowtail on it, so there's quite a bit of great stuff going on right now. Hopefully it's going to continue to head in the right direction. Up to San Diego we take you. And man, what can I tell you? 1.5 day trips up there near limits of bluefin tuna. I would say the vast majority of the boats now are experiencing great fishing on 20 to 80-pound bluefin, sometimes bigger than that. The daytime fish seem to be a little bit smaller, and there's more yellowfin mixing in with it. But it's still 20 to 40-pound bluefin tuna. It's a beautiful grade. And the yellowfin, they're pretty nice. I talked to Jacob on board the Pegasus just a moment ago, and he said they hung out locally yesterday, picked off a few bluefin. They had 5 yellowfin, but Jacob said they're nice, man, like 20, 25-pound grade YFT. Nothing wrong with that. That's a nice grade of yellowfin tuna, and we just seem to be seeing more and more of that move in here, so that's a great sign. By the way, the Pegasus said, hey, let's get out of here, go out to San Clemente Island tonight, and that was last night, and they didn't have a whole lot of time, but out there they picked up 18 nice bluefin out near SCI, 25 to 100-pound class, fishing at night with the jigs, knife jigs or something like that, 300 gram to 500 gram. Drop when the captain tells you to drop. Have metered line so you know exactly what depth you're at. He says drop to 400 feet. You're there. You're bit. That makes all the difference in the world. Fishing Spectra with 100 to 130 pound is the only way to fish that fish at night because there's some big ones running around. So really great fishing. As you saw in the lead-in, I mean, you see these fish being unloaded, and there's some great scores right now happening, and it just seems to get better and better and better. The full-day boats. How about the Liberty yesterday? 30 mixed, yellowfin and bluefin tuna, and that is fantastic. I'll never get over. You can get on a full-day boat, leave in the morning, come back in the evening, and you got a whole bunch of tuna. I mean, I've died and gone to an ulterior universe. It is awesome. That's a great trip there on the Liberty. The San Diego yesterday just missed having limits on the bluefin tuna. They have been all over it. Now, it's mostly fly line bait fishing during the daytime on that fish, choosing a good hot bait. 40 pound should get you a bite. That should work just fine. But I'd be prepared to drop it down to 30, something like that. In case it's real finicky, you're going to have to gauge the intensity of the bite, talk to your crew members, get in touch with all of that. They'll tell you, man. They'll say, hey, don't drop down. These fish are too big. Or, yeah, definitely. You want to go drop down, change your bait regularly, do all of that good stuff. www.optionusa.com. Great fluorocarbon. Put in FA at checkout. You might get a hug and a kiss from owner Greg Brown. Carlos Mosquera, who happens to be one of the greatest guys on the face of the earth. I love the guy. I fished with him recently on board the Apollo out of 22nd Street Landing. Nice fish, 103 pound bluefin tuna on board the Legend. And Carlos said, hey, this crew on the Legend, awesome. Second to none. Really great. So if Carlos says that, I'm all over it. Really, really great stuff. So San Diego area, whether you're on a full day boat or you're on a day and a half trip, it's really looking good. A couple of good friends of mine, I went to grammar school with these guys 55 years ago. Nick Acosta, Bob Gifford. They're going to be on the Ocean Odyssey coming up here. My brother Paul just flew in from Taiwan, and he called me up and said, hey, let's go fishing. So he's in Ventura right now. I'm thinking about driving up there and maybe jumping on the Island Spirit the day after the 4th of July. So we'll see about that. But Paul and I are going to get together, and I can't wait to see him and maybe get out with Cody Rogers and wet a line, see what my schedule allows me to do. All right, up here in this neck of the woods, we continue to watch San Clemente Island. Sea lions are a pain in the neck. Guys are metering tons of yellowtail. Every once in a while, they'll get a hit on it, 10 to 20 yellows. But I'm suspecting that we're going to see one of those 50-shot, scores on the yellows here pretty soon. Those fish, the yellows at San Clemente Island, yo-yo iron, once in a while, surface iron a lot of the times, and a fly line Dean is the way to go. There's also a little mix of calico bass and sheep's head and whitefish and that kind of stuff going on there. At Catalina Island, some of the boats are reporting some really good halibut fishing and sea bass fishing. Also some yellowtail, mostly private boaters. They're stealth. Sport boats are continuing to pick off yellows over there, anywhere from 2, 3, up to 15 yellowtail. There's bonita. There's pretty good action. Some barracuda over there. It's been pretty darn fun. Speaking of barracuda, by the way, we've got them in the Channel Islands, and we've got them down in Baja, California, in Ensenada. We need them to move here on the Horseshoe Kelp and really bring us some 4th of July fireworks. That would be absolutely fantastic. I would not, even though we haven't seen them, I would not jump on a boat without a jig stick. For sure. Ask Jeff Yeomans over at the 540 Slingers Club. Heck, he doesn't even go to the gym without his 540. So make sure you bring it along with you. If you're on the Monte Carlo or something like that, that is something you definitely want to bring along with you. Local scene, as we've been telling you, there's really good rock fishing going on up and down the coast. I'll get to the Channel Islands in a moment. But up and down the coast, there's a little bit of bass. There's that bass tournament. $5 you throw in at Dana Wharf Sport Fishing, and then you're in this tournament, catch and release. It's fun. They're catching quite a bit of calico bass. Down there in San Diego, same kind of a thing, a good rockfish. In fact, our dear friend, Friedman Adventures family member, John Ho. John, you're the best. He was on the Dolphin. Look at that beautiful, beautiful catch of colorful, wonderful eating rockfish that John was able to put together on board the Dolphin. So good rockfish sculpin, that kind of stuff for most of the guys. Take you up there to the, Spitfire Nick Ramirez was out recently, another great family member. He says Modelo, this gentleman, is known by everybody. He is a legend. Modelo, I take my hat off to you this morning and expose my bald head for everyone to see. All right, so good stuff going on up there. Channel Islands, lots of rockfish going on up there. Good sheep's head fishing. We've seen a lot of that going on, and we continue to monitor and watch for more and more halibut. There's a lot of halibut up there. There's a lot of sea bass. I still suspect we're going to see an explosion on that. Jay Jones was on the Endeavor with Tucker McCombs, and we love fishing Ventura Harbor. Sport fishing, it's a great place. Customer service second to none. Those guys, their level of expertise through the roof. And man, did they get all over the goats. The viejas were biting up there on board the Endeavor, as Jay Jones says. And Jay says, hey, any day on the Endeavor is better than a day just about anywhere else on the face of the earth. In the surf, there's some good fishing going on. Water's up to 65 degrees down around Newport and Huntington. I know that because Noli Yan Jr. checked in. Noli, thank you. And Noli said, hey, this barred perch fishing's off the hook. For Orange County, these are big barred perch. And he's right, man. Those are nice ones. So they continue to catch out. Lots of sand crabs. He's getting bit on the sand crabs and doing really, really well. We've seen some good yellowfin croaker fishing up there in the Santa Monica Bay, up toward El Segundo. And Big Ross Contreras up there somewhere around Ventura, I think. Big Ross with 4 stripers and a nice yellowfin croaker. So I don't know how you can beat that. That is some pretty good fishing. And hats off to you, Big Ross, for cranking a good one. All right, so things are going along really, really well. We've seen some excellent sign of yellowfin tuna pushing their noses into San Diego. And as I mentioned to you, there's a lot more fish a couple of 100 miles down the Baja coast that seem to be pointed in this direction. Get ready for an explosion of yellowfin tuna. Brad Phillips was the one who put that in my head. And man, that guy knows what he's talking about. So look for that in the very near future. We're seeing little bits of it, and hopefully it's going to continue. And also, albacore, don't count them out. It's almost the 4th of July. It's almost America's birthday. It's almost time for the longfin to show up in Southern California. I still haven't given up hope. I don't care how many yellowfin tuna try to ruin my dreams. I'm not going to allow them to do it. All right, my friends, have a great one. I'm wishing you all a wonderful 4th of July weekend. Hope you get out and get to wet a line. I hope I get to get up on board the Island Spirit on Wednesday. I've got to work out some details on that. And more than anything, you know what? I hope to see you all really, really soon. Have a wonderful day.